Finally, the Tigers ran into their toughest game of the season at Connersville, where they would lose on a slick floor by 1 point. Heading into the state tournament with only one loss, Attucks was regarded as a favorite. And as the state tournament began, Attucks was on a mission, breezing through sectionals with no games closer than 14 points, and then absolutely demolishing everyone in their regional. Attucks finally met their match in the semi-state final against Muncie Central.
I think that Muncie Central game was a big game we played in that year. That was in 55. I think they were rated number 1, and we were rated number 2. And so we played them, I think, in the semi-final, and we won by 1 point. I remember that game because I was fortunate enough. Austin, he was driving on the side and passed the ball to me, and I hit a jump shot, and that gave us a 3-point lead. And they came back and scored and had left for 1 point. I think it was only about 7 seconds left to play, or 11 seconds. And we got the ball back, and we lost the ball out of bounds, so they got it back and threw the ball in. Austin jumped up and intercepted, and that was the game. But like I said, if I would have hit the 2 points, who knows, we might have lost.
In the Final Four, the evolving nature of high school sports was becoming evident. Two of the teams, Gary Roosevelt and Attucks, were all black, and the other two teams combined to put forth 3 more black starters, ultimately leading to a very integrated state finals. Attucks breezed through the semifinal game, then squared off against Gary Roosevelt, another school that was all black and had been created to segregate a city. It was both a triumphant and sad moment for the black community. On one hand, 2 black schools had triumphed over racism and oppression to reach the pinnacle of basketball success, something that many had never deemed possible. At the same time, it also served as a sad reminder that segregation in Indiana was still a tangible reality. Attucks won the state final over Roosevelt, 97-74. It was a banner day for the entire city of Indianapolis, especially its black community. CrispusAttucks became not only the first Indianapolis team to win a state basketball championship, but also the first all-black high school team to win an open state championship in the entire nation.
See, before then, the city of Indianapolis had never won a championship. So we were the first to have to be an all-black team. And so it just was a joyful time, and just the whole city just was just mad, especially the black community, just really, amazed and happy that we won this championship.
Attucks basketball also had a positive effect on strained race relations in Indianapolis.
I think it's helped some because it brought the community together. I mean, we started being around each other, black and white. Of course, we all sit on one side, the white be on one side, the blacks be on the side, but still, we started communicating. By us playing ball against the white ball player, we got to know them, they got to know us. So it started making the racial relations much better, So I think it helped some.
I definitely saw that it brought the kids from the respective schools, from the competing schools, closer together. There is no question about the amount of respect and the friendships that developed as a result of the competition that they had from each other. And I think if you talk with some of the ball players, especially the ones from the 53 to the 56, 57 era, who, for example, competed against the Milan group. Bobby Plump and those guys became just very, very close buddies. Joe Sexton from the local tech school in the 51s, he and Willie Gardner became buddies. There was a classic photo of the two of them coming up the ramp from the dressing rooms of Butler, arm in arm. Classic photo. Those kind of things were unheard of. There's where I saw the growth. That's where I saw the development.
The following season, the Attucks Tigers remained the prohibitive favorites for the state title. The team did not disappoint, rolling through their schedule with ease. Oscar Robertson was now 6'5" and dominated his competition, averaging 24.3 points per game, including a 62-point outburst against Sacred Heart that gave him the city scoring record. The Tigers had won 45 games in a row and would finish the 1956 season as the state's first unbeaten champion, both state records at the time. Robertson would go on to be named the state's Mr. Basketball, becoming the second Attucks player to win the award. Later, Robertson would commit to play basketball at the University of Cincinnati, where he would 3 times be named National Player of the Year, play in 2 Final Fours, and set 14 NCAA records. Out of college, he would be drafted by the Cincinnati Royals, and while in the NBA, he would be named First Team NBA 9 times, win 1 MVP award, and 1 NBA championship. Perhaps most impressively, however, he stands as the only player in NBA history to ever average a triple-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists for an entire season. In fact, when taking the averages for the games from his first 5 seasons, Robertson averaged a triple-double over those first 5 seasons.
I truly believe that Oscar, if he isn't the greatest all-around player that knew the game, saw the game, could make other players much better because of them playing with him, he may have been the greatest all-around basketball player that ever played the game, including Michael Jordan.
Despite the departure of Oscar Robertson, Attucks would once again make it to the state title game before losing to South Bend Central. At the end of the season, the program would say goodbye to its greatest coach ever, as Ray Crow would retire with a record of 193-20. Perhaps even more important, however, was the guidance that he gave the young men who played for him. With the groundwork laid by Crow, the team's winning ways were far from over. They would win a 3rd state championship in 1959 and would win 7 sectional titles after Crow's retirement, the last one coming in 1973. Attucks began admitting white students in 1968. After being threatened with closure, the school was converted into a junior high school in 1986 and then to a middle school in 1993. The building was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1989, and in 2006 the school was changed to a medical magnet school as part of the IPS Magnet School program. In 2010, Attucks will once again hold a commencement ceremony, its first in over 20 years. Next year, the school will begin its first year of varsity basketball competition, playing a full slate of games for the first time since the high school closed. It will be up to these Tigers to make their own history, but no matter what, those banners will always hang proudly in the CrispusAttucks gym, a testament to a special group of people, not only to Attucks, but to the entire city of Indianapolis.